Hello, my name is Dmitry Archozovsky. I'm presenting platform for neural machine translation system demo and user data collection, supervised by Mark Fisher. First of all, let's start with what is machine translation is. Machine translation is at least in my thesis, is a black box where you put input and output data. Let's assume that input is English and output is Estonian one. Inside the black box, there are several recurrent neural nets which are create a model which can be used. Then Neural MT integrates with this model. Neural MT is a platform which I built. I will explain in the following slides. Functional requirements. Functional requirements of the platform. First of all, it should be maintainable, it should be scalable, and it should be user-friendly. Then system architecture. System architecture, so we have a platform. I didn't say what it exactly is, but basically it is either online translator or it's aggregator of several translations. So it can be clearly seen on the slide. So it's aggregator in the sense that it's communicated with Google, Tilde, and so on, and it returns batch result on the front end, browser, and the t.de page. Another part, if you just simply use our tool as online translators, then you just use Summon API. It's the translator developed in the University of Tartu National Language Assessment Research Lab. Technologies were used. I have used a lot of rest of technologies. Most of them are related either to Python or just JavaScript, and some of the things you can see here related to infrastructure. All of the symbols explain what I have used. Online translators. There are many online translators out there, and you're asking, well, what was the purpose to create one more translator? The idea is that all these translators have their own pros and cons. For example, the same sentence can be translated differently by different translators, and not all of them actually can translate everything. Based on this, we want to create the systems that mainly have like two purposes. Can translate really well in some specific domains like medicine or technology. Either it can translate in general so good that it can be much better than any of these translators on the general purpose translations. To achieve the goal, we actually used crowdsourcing. What is crowdsourcing? Basically, if you have a huge task and you want to get this task done, you separate in the split task and send to people. Usually this task can be overlapped and people do the same task several times. Based on this, you can statistically use the best translation, for example. So we actually can understand the word to was translated around 800 times. So now we actually know what people think the best translation. Is it hi, welcome, or hello? What kind of data is collected by NeuroTalget? NeuroTalget collects first best translations if they were chosen, source sentence, the sentence that you are sent to the backend to translate and get the result from, and all translations by all these three translators. Tilde, Google, and NeuroMT. How we will improve our system based on this data? We have several ideas. One of the ideas is to use it as a test data, because honestly, we cannot collect enough data yet. During the 2 months period, we didn't collect enough data to create our own corpora. Corpora is a set of input and output sentences on which we can create a model, train the model. Another idea, it's on the model. The best translation based on the user's responses. As far as I can see, University of Tartu is not the best translator yet. But we are going to improve it. The best one is still that we should use neural machine translation system, and Google use statistical machine translation system. How universal two can be worse, even neural SMTs usually tend to be worse than NMT, which we use in our system. The idea is that both Tilde and Google tuned their systems, and we didn't do anything so far. Only what we did, we tried to incorporate new corpora, and as you can see, results are really bad. Number of sessions per country. Actually, let's look how our platform performs. Usually people use our platform in Estonia, but also we are popular in Finland and Sweden. Also in the United Kingdom and somehow unreasonably in Australia. It means that our platform has a potential over world, so it's not interesting only for Estonians and like in Estonia, it's also interesting for regions out there. So we can add more and more language pairs and improve quality further. Number of sessions per browser. As far as you can see, the most popular browsers are Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. All other browsers are also used, but they might have issues, so something may not work or anything like that. We currently address this problem, and we're on it trying to solve at least Internet Explorer and Microsoft Edge. And after all these four main browsers will be fully functioning, then we are going further and try to make all competitive browser works. If you use competitive browsers, as I mentioned, Safari, either Google Chrome or Firefox, then all these three devices can be used with neural MT. As far as we've seen, the most used is like laptops and desktops, and the second place is mobile phones, and the third is tablet. The statistic is reasonable, but it was not expected. We just expected so that the tablet will be most frequently used compared to the mobile phones. What can we learn from results? First of all, our system has a potential. There is a lot of translators out there, but still per day at least 250 users use our platform. The second, we already have a small test set we can use for improved model, and we are planning to collect even more data before the end of the year. Also, since system is compatible among browsers and different devices, we are planning to grow our community. So it is demo time. So I put reward and then put high word, and it took approximately 30 seconds or so, and I show here is the play mode. You know, play mode is when the three browsers are shown the translation, and you can choose the best one if you want. If you don't want, just use it as it is. And the interesting thing is that usually people don't use this option. What happens, they use our tool as online translator. And only if and only if they are not satisfied with this translation, or they are new for the platform or want to try different options, they actually use play mode. So let's go further. Now presentation comes to the conclusions. Conclusion. So platform, what is created? Platform for neural machine translation system demo is created. User data is collected, and user data analyzed through the platform usage. And then I want to say thank you for Ministry of Foreign Affairs to support my study in Estonia. One more time I want to note that it was platform for neural machine translation system demo and user data collection done by Dmitry Chasovsky and supervised by Mark Fisher. Thank you for your attention.